I want to tell you something I have never fully told before. This is not an AI Mike video. This is just me, Mike, Chereches, and this is how my family got here. August 28th, 1985, my father Alexandru, my mother Regina, and me, 5 years old. We were at the airport in Romania, leaving everything we had ever known. Our home, our village, our language, our people. Our home, our village, our language, our people. 4 years of waiting, 4 years of hoping that the answer would finally be yes. Because in communist Romania under Nicolae Ceausescu, you did not simply decide to leave. You asked, and you waited, and you hoped the government would let you go. At the airport that day, before we could board the plane, the secret police pulled my father into a private room. I did not fully understand what was happening. I was 5, but I remember the energy of it, the tension. They sat across from my father and asked him to be a patriot, to spy for his country, to report back on what he found in America. My father looked at them and simply said no. He wanted nothing more to do with that system. That is why we were leaving. That is why he waited 4 years. That is why we were standing in that airport. With our clothes, his paintings, my mother's crocheted work, and almost nothing else. Because he wanted something better for himself, for my mother, for me. He said no, and we walked back out to the gate. Our relatives were there to see us off. Aunts, uncles, people who loved us, people we were about to leave behind, without knowing when or if we would ever see them again. My uncle Calin was there. I adored him. I was little, and I called him Uncle K. We were moving toward the gate to board the plane when something happened. I turned around, and I ran, back through the crowd, back toward my uncle. I grabbed him and held on as tight as a 5-year-old can hold on to someone. And I said, "Uncle K, I love you. We are going now." The airport police did not know what was happening. A little boy running back through the gate. Everyone alarmed for a moment, and then I let go, walked back to my parents, and we entered the gate. My uncle Calin and I remained close over the years. He passed away this past February. I still think about that moment at the airport. A little boy who somehow knew, on some level, that he needed to go back and say it one more time. Before boarding that plane, "Uncle K, I love you. We are going now." Our first stop was Rome. We stayed 9 days waiting for our connecting flight to America. It was the summer of 1985, and it was close to 100 degrees. I remember the Colosseum. I remember the ancient structures that seemed impossible to a 5-year-old. From a small Transylvanian village, I remember the Trevi fountain. I remember the food. And I remember being desperately thirsty in that heat, and my Romanian parents absolutely refusing to let me drink water. Because in Romania, there is a belief that if you drink cold water when you are hot and sweaty, you will catch a cold. It was 100 degrees in Rome. I was 5 years old, and I was not allowed to drink water. Some things cross every border. September 6th, 1985, we boarded the plane to America. And somewhere over the Atlantic Ocean, on a projector screen at the front of the cabin, Ghostbusters was playing. I was 5 years old. I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea what my life was about to become. But I watched that movie and I thought, America has ghosts and people who fight them. I think I am going to like it here. We landed at JFK in New York. I remember the size of it, the noise of it. A layover, and then another plane, to Greenfield, Tennessee. Our sponsors were waiting, Bobby and Margie Yergin. They had done this before, a Vietnamese refugee in 1979, an Afghan engineer in 1981, and now us. A Romanian painter, his homesick wife, and a 5-year-old boy who wanted to be a cowboy. We had $90. That was everything we had in the world. I do not remember landing in Tennessee. I was exhausted. I fell asleep. And when I woke up the next morning, I did not know where I was. I was in a house I had never seen, in a state I could not have found on a map, in a country I had only heard about. Margie Yergin was there. She was speaking to me. In English. I had no idea what she was saying. Not a single word. She smiled and fed me breakfast. Special K cereal with milk. I had never had cereal before. That morning, I also had my first Coca-Cola, my first bag of Ruffles potato chips. And somewhere in that Tennessee kitchen on a September morning in 1985, something shifted inside me. I looked around, and I thought, I think we are not going back. And I was okay with that. My mother was not okay with that. She was desperately homesick. She cried at night. She wanted to go back to everything she knew, to the language she spoke without thinking, to the people who understood her without explanation. She could not go back. And somehow, she found the strength to stay anyway. I did not understand that then. I understand it now. Bobby Yergin had a gun collection, revolvers, shotguns, rifles. And one day he took us to a bridge, and he let me shoot a revolver. I had always wanted to be a cowboy, just like in the movies. And standing on that bridge in Tennessee, holding that revolver, I thought, I think I am going to be okay. That 5-year-old boy in Greenfield, Tennessee, grew up. He became an American. He built a life here. He became a husband, a father, a law enforcement officer. He carried a real gun every day, just like he always wanted. Not because of the movies anymore, because he wanted to protect people. The same way Bobby and Margie Yergin protected his family when they had nothing and knew no one. Juliana, Michael, if you ever watch this, I want you to understand something. Everything you have, everything you take for granted, the house, the school, the baseball field, the Roblox account, all of it exists because a painter from a small village in Transylvania said no to the secret police in an airport. Because your grandmother cried herself to sleep in Tennessee and stayed anyway. Because a 5-year-old boy ran back through a gate and hugged his uncle one last time and said, "Uncle K, I love you, we are going now." It was hard, all of it, but I do not regret a single moment of it. Because it brought me here, and here is where you are, and that is everything. So this is not just how we got here. This is why I never forget where I came from.